What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Jake Shavink here, and the Los Angeles Rams might have done it again in the NFL draft. Probably not to the degree that they did with Puka Nacua last year, but the Rams might have found a contributor on offense in Texas wide receiver Jordan Whittington. Whittington was a sixth-round pick in the 2024 NFL draft, just 1,746 yards in his 5-year career and under 500 yards in 2023. But he played with the likes of Colin Johnson, Devin Duvernay, Xavier Worthy, and Adonai Mitchell in his time at Texas. So he never really got to be the feature guy, but he did a lot of the dirty work. He was a versatile player in their offense, and that led to some pretty good stuff on film. So what do we see with Whittington on the college film? So what you see on collegiate film for Jordan Whittington is a lot of flash in all three phases of playing the receiver position. And what you see from him a lot in terms of the route running is what he can do from the slot, attacking inside leverage, doing work at the top of routes to get defenders to commit early. So like he does here against Alabama, really nice job stemming inside, top of route manipulation there, get the corner to commit and generate a lot of space for you to create these wide open windows. That was a rep against Terrion Arnold, one of the better cornerbacks in the draft. Here, a really nice job against selling inside, but also turning his head to look back to the quarterback, maybe giving the corner an indication of, okay, throw might be coming here. That just adds to the salesmanship that Whittington has when he can work from the slot, especially against off coverage. Here, quick stem to the outside, press vertically, and you've got the defender in a bind from the get-go. Same thing here against Oklahoma State, where we're motion, stem inside, do that jab step at the top of the route and create some space for you on an outbreaker. So the outbreaking routes are really his bread and butter when it comes to playing the receiver position. And here, a really nice job of threatening vertically, getting this corner, this defensive back, in a little bit of a bind where he's going to commit to the vertical route, thus opening a big window over the middle of the field. Now, how about at the catch point? Not as many of these, but there were certain situations where Whittington was trusted in a 50-50 spot, and he goes up and elevates really nicely here against Washington down the stretch when they needed a big play. Gives it to him right there. Now, how about after the catch? I think you see elusiveness, suddenness, and toughness after the catch with Whittington. Here, breaks one tackle with some nice contact balance and then is able to adjust and find an open lane. So he's got good vision and processing skills combined with the suddenness to make the first man miss. Here, really good job dropping the weight, decelerate, accelerate quickly. When you can make that first defender miss in space, it's very, very helpful as a yak threat. And it's also helpful to be proactive with your feet to attack after the catch. Here he does a really nice job. As he's catching the ball, he's landing on this outside foot, giving him the opportunity to attack quickly inside where he knows he has space to work with. Here against Washington is another really tremendous one where he's just running a slant route against off coverage. He knows that this safety is going to be bearing down on him. So what does he do? Look at him as he's catching the football, and he plants that left foot to work back flat down the field here to avoid the safety flying downhill. Really proactive move there as he's arriving at the catch point to put himself in a position to make that first defender miss. Now, when you're in the slot in this offense, it helps to be able to block really well. And Whittington did a solid job with this. Here, he had some physicality as a blocker there. You see him kind of tossing a guy out. This one I think is really, really impressive where he's got to come all the way across and take on this defender here. Really good job getting to his spot in time, creating a big hole for the running back. And again, they motion him down into the formation here to help and generate better numbers in the run game. Here, really nice job. Second level block, take care of it, helps bring the running back to a big gain on the ground. So what does it look like when everything's kind of put together? I think this is a great rep here. He's selling this crosser, right? He's showing the acceleration in this route. Defender's going to commit to this. Really nice. Sudden move, good stop-start acceleration there, and then make the first man miss in space and also have the vision to identify a potential exit route for you and generate a big play after the catch. So Whittington does a lot of things pretty well at the receiver position. Ultimately, there are some things he definitely has to work on in terms of hand fighting, what he does versus press. He's not the speediest guy. He doesn't have the most acceleration at receiver, and there are times where he gets a little bit of alligator arms and kind of clap the football at the catch point. So it's not all completely there with Whittington in terms of development. but he's definitely shown enough in these first 2 preseason games that gives you confidence going forward. So let's take a look at what he's shown thus far in the preseason. All right, so what have we seen from Whittington so far in the preseason? Obviously, the production has been there, right? He's been a factor in both games. But what do you see in terms of traits and how he fits well? Well, we'll start here. Simple, basic route against off coverage, right? And I think, when you look at this route as a whole, I think you'd like to see a little bit more vertical pressure. You can already see him kind of decelerating at the top of this route. That's something where faster corners are going to be able to key in on that and close a lot quicker. However, we'll get to a little bit later in this one how I think Whittington can combat that. Here, I think, is a really good look of how if Whittington's going to get on the field with the Rams, this could be a role that he's given on this specific play. This is play action. Stetson Bennett's going to get out on the bootleg here. So Whittington's going to have to hold this defensive end long enough and then quickly release into space. Something that I think the Rams could definitely come back to in the regular season. But if Whittington's in the game, you could see the Rams kind of go, okay, yeah, he's got yards after the catch ability. Let's give him an opportunity in this spot. Now, how about as a route runner against off coverage? We've seen him do that well at Texas. This is a really nice job of making sure, okay, I'm running this corner route. I need to attack inside leverage. I'm going to try to move this defender a little bit inside so I can win to the corner with ease off of play action here. Good job attacking inside. There's that jab step at the top of routes. If you got a quarterback like Stafford, he should be able to hit this one on the corner route for a big, big gain. Now, we talked about on that dig route earlier, corners are going to be there in your hip pocket at the catch point. How can you combat that? Well, by being dominant at the catch point like he was in this game. Has to elevate at the catch point, is going to go through some contact here. Really impressive contact balance once he lands. And then you see the yak ability take over. Really impressive acceleration there in space to generate a chunk play. Now, I think Whittington, again, is kind of in the same mold of a Cooper Kupp, of a Puka Nacua, where he has that ability and has shown the ability as a blocker. So you're going to be able to attach him in the wing look here in the regular season, but he's just going to have to get better as a blocker, right? This isn't going to work. You need to get better hand placement. You need to get better, balance. You need to be in better positioning at contact so you can drive guys or at least be able to hold blocks at the point of attack. Similar situation here where he's just kind of hanging on almost on the edge there. So that's something that's definitely going to have to be cleaned up. But you can combat that with some tenacity. And if he's fighting out there like he did here against Dallas, that's a good sign going forward. This is one of the best ones, I think, and it's unfortunate that Bennett didn't hit Whittington on this, but similar thing where this could be an option route or it is just a simple out, and Whittington just does a really nice job of gaining ground, some foot fire, really treating this as the two-way go, not giving the cornerback any hint of where he's going, and the corner's going to commit to the inside just as Whittington wants to, and he wins to the outside. Unfortunately, the pass is just out of reach. But we did see Whittington dominate even more at the catch point again. Bennett kind of leads him into contact here. It would have been nicer if it was close to the sideline, but Whittington does a really nice job. He's that tough guy right over the middle of the field. He showed that at Texas, and he shows it right there through contact. Here, really like how he attacks the catch point, right? Gives himself a more favorable opportunity. If he kind of waits for this ball, there's a chance this is a pass breakup. And then a really nice job of instincts, to almost evade this tackle, but also stretch out far enough to get a first down on that play. How about one more time, right? Good job selling inside. Go to the corner, throws a little behind. Make sure you elevate at the catch point. Could say it wasn't the best elevation, but the ball isn't super high up. But he does a really nice job, again, surviving through contact. Now, we kind of talked about this with Whittington, right? He's not the speediest. He's, doesn't have the best explosiveness. I also think you can see it in terms of some of these route break transitions. And this is one of them where, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 steps on this route break, not the best. But how do you kind of recover from this situation? You work back to the football. Really nice job there by Whittington on that. Obviously, we want to show some more blocking reps because he's going to get opportunities like this. Again, hands are a little wide. Positioning's not super good. He's not going to be able to drive guys off the ball like that. So that's something to definitely work on. We talked about improving against press coverage, and this is what he's going to have to do. In this scenario, doesn't get jammed or contacted quickly, but he doesn't do a nice job attacking the outside hip of this corner. So the corner really doesn't get moved, and he's kind of, not threatened enough to have to open the hips, to turn to the outside at all. So he's there on Whittington on that little slant route. So that's something, again, when you lack that explosiveness, it's a little harder. And when you're got some things to iron out in terms of the route break transitions, is a little bit tougher for you. Again, not the best positioning, but he does a better job fighting there at the point of attack. So points for that. Here, again, sitting in zone, you see him get a little bit wide at the catch point there, and I think he was thinking about post-catch activities, so a little bit of a double catch. Definitely something to monitor, as we kind of talked about, him alligatoring a little bit at the catch point. I think you're going to get some looks like this with Whittington should he, find himself in the game in the regular season, where you're going to get him on this kind of dagger concept with a little bit of a more bunched look, where you're going to get, the clear out, and Whittington's going to be able to take advantage over the middle of the field, tons of space to work with to sort of maximize that yards after catch ability that he has shown on film. Here, I think is a really nice example of something where Whittington, Nacua, Kupp, all these guys get involved in the run game, right? Tight end takes care of the end man. You have to kind of insert yourself into this gap and take care of business. Little late to the assignment there. Otherwise, Evans might have had a cutback lane. Last one I'll show you guys really quick. Another one where I think you need to be able to attack a little bit more to the outside. Need to be able to work on hand fighting. Yes, the corner grabs a little bit, but within 5 yards, you're going to get looks like that. So overall, Jordan Whittington has shown, again, a lot of promise at the receiver position, and it just gives the Rams another guy who they can utilize as the wing, as the slot in their formations, where you have guys like Nacua who you can put on the perimeter, Kupp who you can put on the perimeter because those guys can get open. They're more versatile, and it gives you that opportunity to, if you're going to be in 11 personnel, you have your big play guys in the room, but it gives you another player you can kind of almost be a pseudo tight end, being more 11.5 personnel as it would be with Whittington. And so if he can improve that blocking ability, he's shown the ability to be a tough mutter over the middle of the field through contact and has the ability after the catch. It's just going to be about opportunity, but I do think he can contribute early for this Rams team. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video on Jordan Whittington. If you did, throw a like down there, subscribe if you're new. Plenty more content on the way very, very soon. I will catch you guys in the next video. Farewell.